Hi everybody, it's a beautiful morning. I'm gonna be preparing a delicious, traditional Mexican breakfast. Now this is Huevos al Albañil. This is one of my Ron's favorite dish because it's hearty and delicious. And the good thing about it is that you can prepare it for several people all in one pot. And that's the good thing about it. Now I've got my griddle nice and hot. I'm gonna start by roasting my chiles and my tomatoes and the rest of the ingredients. So I'm gonna put 2 chiles serranos right here. Now I'm gonna be using 5 Roma tomatoes. Now 2 of them are small, so that's why I'm putting in 5, but 4 large ones is a good size. I've got 1/4 of a small onion. I'm gonna break it up and put it right here on my griddle. And I have 1 large garlic clove. I'm gonna be moving these around so they can get nice and charred from the outside. Now while I've got everything roasting, I'm gonna prepare my refried beans. These are chorizo refried beans. I love the flavor of the chorizo in with my refried beans. Now I've got some bacon grease. Wait till it melts. And I'm gonna continue moving these around. So my bacon grease is nice and melted. I'm gonna add 1/4 of a small onion, finely chopped. Now I love adding onions in my refried beans. I'm gonna move my onions around until they get slightly translucent so they can release their flavor into the grease. So my onions are slightly translucent. I'm gonna add my homemade chorizo. Now, if you don't wanna add chorizo, you can just leave it out. The flavor of the refried beans with a chorizo, that's the way my mama always prepared it. So I'm gonna move the chorizo around until it gets nice and cooked. So my chorizo is well cooked. Now I'm gonna add my beans. Now when I cook beans, I always put them in quart-sized Ziploc bags and I put them in the freezer. And this is about 4 cups of beans that I had in the freezer. They're nice and thawed, ready to go. So I'm gonna add them in to my skillet right here along with the chorizo and the onions. Now if you look at this, you'll say, well, that's got a little too much grease, but that's what gives it the flavor. I didn't say they were gonna be low calorie or low fat, but they're gonna be delicious. So I'm gonna remove my tomatoes because they're nice and roasted. I already removed my garlic clove because I don't want it to burn. And here they are. Here are my serrano peppers and my onions. And that's good. So I'm just gonna let them sit here so they can cool down a little bit before I put them into the blender. Now back to the beans. Now as you can see, I've got a piece of ham hock right here. Look at that. Once I smash these beans, oh man, these are gonna be delicious. Now my beans have started to boil, and that's what we want. Now I'm gonna smash them real good. So I have mashed my beans really well. Now I'm gonna turn off the heat, and I'm gonna move them over here to the corner so they can simmer on low right here. Just like that. And now I'm going to the blender. So I'm ready to blend everything in my blender. I'm gonna add my serrano peppers, my tomatoes. Now I remove the core on the tomatoes. You don't want the core in there. Here are my onions, my garlic clove, and here are the rest of the tomatoes right there. I'm gonna add 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 tablespoon of tomato flavored chicken bouillon, and just a pinch of Mexican oregano. Put it in there, a little bit of salt, and just a little bit of water, like 1/2 cup. And that's good. You can add as much as you want. Make it as saucy as you want. Now I'm going to blend this. And that's perfect. Now I can move on to the stove. So my refried beans are on a low simmer. I've got everything blended in the blender. Now I'm going to prepare my salsa. I'm going to be using this small olla right here. And I'm going to add a little bit of oil, maybe about a tablespoon and a half. And that's good. I'm going to add some onions. Now I've cut these julienne style because you know I like texture. All the onions go in here all by themselves. You add anything else, they're going to release liquid, and then your onions won't sizzle the way you want them to sizzle. So they go in by themselves just for a little bit. Now that's the reason why I also like to add good seasoning in with my salsa. You want the flavor in there. I like to add a little bit of cumin and just a little bit of that tomato flavored chicken bouillon and a little bit of that oregano. Together, you're going to have the best salsa. So my onions are slightly translucent and they're starting to get pretty color on them. Now I'm going to add my yellow bell pepper. I've got about 1/3 of a cup or maybe a little less. Finely diced. Look at this. So my onions and peppers have a beautiful color on them. Now I'm going to add everything from my blender. I'm going to add a little salt. You can put a little bit at a time and taste it as you go along. I'm going to lower the temperature to a low simmer. I'm going to replace my lid and I'm going to let it simmer there on low just for a little bit. Now while my salsa is at a low simmer, I'm going to break my eggs and get them ready. I'm going to be using 8 extra large eggs. I'm going to break them into this bowl. Now I usually like to prepare about 2 eggs per person, but it just depends how many people you're going to serve. Now I'm going to whisk them really well. Now I like to add just a little bit of water because it makes them real nice and fluffy. And it doesn't take a lot, maybe a couple of tablespoons. Or you can use milk. So my eggs are well beaten. I'm going to get my skillet. I'm going to add a little bit of oil to my skillet. Just enough so you can fry your eggs. And I'm going to add my eggs into my skillet. This is going to be so good. It's real hearty. It's super easy to put together, as you can see. Now you don't want your eggs to burn. You just want them well cooked. I'm going to turn off the heat, and that's perfect. Now I'm going to add it into my olla with my salsa that's been simmering beautifully. Look at this. Oh man. I can't wait to get into this. This is my Ron's favorite dish. Now this would be a good time for you to taste it. Perfect. I'm going to replace the lid. I'm going to lower the temperature to the lowest setting so it can simmer like this for just a few minutes. Now you only want your eggs in salsa to simmer for about 4 minutes. So after 4 minutes, I'm gonna turn it off. Now before I get started on my tortillas, I wanted to show you my tortilla press. This is homemade. My Ron made it for me. Look at how happy it is. Now I also have a video where I made chalupas and tacos, and I've got a little taco stand that he made for me too. And then I just painted it. Now some of these big flowers were really little flowers, and then I made mistakes, so I just added more paint and made it into a bigger flower. So it's not a big deal, but I think it's happy. That's why I'm preparing this breakfast for my Ron, because he made me my tortilla press, and I absolutely love it. So I've got my masa ready right here, and I've got my griddle nice and hot on the stove. Now you can serve this dish with flour tortillas or corn. Both of them are delicious and easy to prepare. So I'm done with my tortillas. Now I'm gonna prepare my iced coffee. Very easy. I'm gonna be using this pitcher. I'm gonna start by adding ice into my pitcher. Now if you want it to last you a day or two, you can leave the ice out and just prepare it and keep it in the fridge until you're ready to serve it. And that's good. Now I've got 1 can, 12 ounces of evaporated milk. And I have 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, 14 ounces. And I'm gonna add it in here. Now you can add as much as you want. I'm gonna add 4 tablespoons of instant coffee. This is Nescafe, my favorite, but you can use whichever one you like. 4 tablespoons, or you can add as much as you want. You can even use the decaf if you wanna do that. And there it is. I'm gonna mix it really good. I'm gonna add my water. This is 2 cups. And I'm gonna add 2 more cups of water. So you want 4 cups of water in here. Now I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of classic hazelnut syrup. You can use vanilla, pecan, caramel, whichever one you like. This is 2 tablespoons right there. Oh man. And I'm gonna mix it up really good. And add some more ice. You wanna make sure that your sweetened condensed milk is really dissolved in here. Look at this. And that's good. Now I'm going to serve it in this glass. This is a real treat. You want to put your ice in your glass. And fill it. Put in your straw. Oh, and now you can drink it. Oh my gosh. Oh, heavenly delicious. And here it is. So now that I've got my iced coffee ready, it's time to serve. Look at this. Delicious. Now the beans. And I always like to serve this with a piece of queso fresco right here on the side. Look at this. Oh, and here you are. We've been waiting for this moment, right, Ron?
I don't know where to start.
Now it's time for the taste test. I like to get the beans and I like to put them right here on my tortilla. Mm.
Those eggs are excellent.
Mm. You like it, Ron?
I love it. Love those beans too.
You think it's hot enough?
Sauce on it is great.
It is.
Yeah.
You don't think it's too hot?
No.
Oh. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. You like the iced coffee, honey?
Yes, it's delicious.
I know. They're sweet and savory together, especially when it's nice and cold. Mm. Now, my Ron loves this breakfast because it's delicious and it's hearty. And I love it too. And that's what it's all about. So these are my huevos al albañil, my refried beans, and my homemade iced coffee. If you like the recipes that I've prepared today, give me a thumbs up, send me a comment and tell me what you think. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Thank you.